afternoon, and welcome to the Senior Hour, which is sponsored by Providence Holy Cross Medical Center and Comfort Keepers in Home Care. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co host
Dr. Thomas Polucki.
on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. This is a show for, about, and by seniors, giving information to enhance one's quality of life. And speaking about seniors, we have our first guest this afternoon, Kevin MacDonald, CEO of the Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good to be with you again.
Yes, I saw you yesterday.
Yes, you did.
Wandering around.
Wandering
around. So, what's up at the Senior Center?
Lots of things happen at the Senior Center.
Okay.
We're getting ready for our annual fundraising event, our signature fundraising event. It's called Celebrity Waiter.
Yes.
We've been doing that for quite a few years.
Quite a few.
And it is our main fundraiser of the year. So we're looking forward to that. And that's happening on April 27th. It's a Saturday night at the beautiful Bella Vita Courtyard under the skies of Santa Clarita with an incredibly good food produced by our chefs, Cindy Smith and Marco Rios.
Yes.
So we're going to spoil people.
That's going to be a wonderful evening. It really is. And the food is always so good.
And it's cooked right there, right behind those walls in our kitchen.
Oh, so who's going to be entertaining us that night?
We have Surfin', which is a Beach Boys tribute band. It's one of our favorite bands. We've heard them every year. They come back and they do a Christmas show for us. And they're just so good. The artists are so wonderful, and the musicians. So we're looking forward to having them be our headliner for Celebrity Waiter this year. So you're going to have a good meal. You're going to have some really, really good music.
Terrific.
Okay,
well, I'm looking forward to it. Yes.
So this is a fundraiser for the Senior Center.
Yes.
So how does that all work out? Are there still seats available?
Still seats available, still tables available. What usually happens with these fundraisers is corporations and organizations buy a table and they bring 8 people with them.
Gotcha.
So the tables range from $2,000 to a table up to $10,000 for a table.
Wow.
Which different perks for the different levels.
Sure.
And so we have about 25 tables sold already. Just got a few more to sell. So people are coming out.
That is terrific. 25 already.
Yes. So we are thrilled with the outpouring of support. There's still individual tickets available too if people want to come. Comfort Keepers is one of our key sponsors, for this program as well.
Us too.
And yes, and you as well. So they're all around. So we're really looking forward to a really nice night. And it's just bringing the community together for about 300 people. Good music, good food. We have a great live auction. Ed Masterson is our MC and our auctioneer.
Yes.
And we're putting together some really good packages that people can bid on, and it helps us raise money to keep the Senior Center going.
Nice. So if the average person wants to buy a seat at the table, what does that look like?
That's about $250 for that because it's a fundraiser with
Gotcha.
the full meal involved. They can just call the Senior Center and reserve a seat, and we'll get them in there.
Barb, what's that number?
259-9444.
Awesome.
Yes.
So this is, what'd you say, April
27th, it's Saturday night.
April 27th on a Saturday night.
So go to the Home and Garden Show. Come on over to the Senior Center for Celebrity Waiter that night.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happening.
I just love it that, we're back.
Mm-hmm.
We're back. Things are happening in the community. And it's, even though, I guess they declared this whole craziness over like last year, it still seems like people aren't fully back in the groove of things yet, going out and being involved in the community. But I think this is a year that people really feel comfortable with getting out and being around large groups of people.
There are, and there's some, if you look up the lineup for Santa Clarita for April and May, lots of great charities out there doing their thing and bringing the people out, and they have different audiences. We have, people who support the Senior Center, and they'll come out. I'm going to several of those other charitable events to support my colleagues as well.
Of course.
So what an important time, but also time to give back, to saying, let's take a pause. Let's bring our friends together. We had a person last night who called and said, I'm going to bring my employees, and we're going to sit around and have dinner together and celebrate the Senior Center with you all. And like I said, it's kind of unique because it's outside, and we have a beautiful setting there. We're going to take full advantage of it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, there's nothing like an event like that for team building, for an organization. So it's a win-win-win. I mean, you're supporting a great organization, the Senior Center, and it's a great event. You're not going to be there with sticking dinner forks in your forehead to try to get through it. And it can be a really nice way to team build.
It is a great team building. And, speaking about team building, we
Mm.
have our theme. Our theme is California Dreamin'. So
Oh,
when you think of California Dreamin', you may think of the beach, you may think of the mountains. So you would decorate your table, whatever your theme is. If your theme is the
Oh.
Yosemite Mountains, then you can do a Yosemite Valley. You
nice.
decorate your table, and then you could have all of your guests come as hikers or whatever they want to be.
Yeah.
So each table is going to be a little bit differently, from the vineyards to the beaches to San Francisco to San Diego. We also have a special group coming from the rock stars of Laurel Canyon. They're going to
Oh,
be there. They have their own table. So you never know what you're going to get at this Celebrity Waiter event.
yeah.
Well,
That's crazy.
I want to buy 3 tickets,
Okay.
but I don't know whose table I'll sit at.
We'll set you up at a beautiful table, as we always do, Barbara.
Oh, yes.
With some wonderful friends of yours. 'Cause you have
That
lots
sounds
of friends
good.
that'll be there, and we'll
Oh,
set you up
yes.
at a good table.
Okay, that's
So no problem.
good.
We'll get you your 3 tickets.
Yeah, okay. I'm bringing my daughter and her husband.
Wonderful. Well,
So,
thank you again.
yes, yes,
So.
yeah. That's wonderful.
So this is a
Thanks.
big part of our fundraising pie
Sure.
is this event, because we have to raise quite a bit of money to break even at the senior center.
Yeah.
We definitely try to keep our fees to our seniors low, if any at all, and this is the time of year to try to make it up.
Yeah. And there's apparently a lot of mouths to feed, literally.
There's
So
thousands and thousands of mouths to feed. We'll be
yeah,
serving
every day.
We'll be serving 2,000 meals today,
Wow.
and I just came from the kitchen and it looks delicious. So
It's so crazy. I mean, I go on a walk every morning. I walk my dogs, and I always see the Meals on Wheels from the senior center.
Oh yeah.
It's an incredible service that you provide in this community.
And I don't know how many cars you see in your morning walks with your dogs.
Yeah, there's
but
a couple out
there's-
there.
Yeah, there's 19 of them out there
Yeah.
every single morning.
You ought to see them in the parking lot.
Yeah.
But
Holy
once they roll
cow.
out about 9 or 9:15, they're going all over the valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have about 30 stops on hand. And these are volunteers, a lot of retirees that come back and say, how can I make a difference in the community once I retire? That's our classic Meals on Wheels person. But they're getting in and out of that car 30, 35 times.
Yeah.
And they're also establishing relationships with the people they're giving the meals to. So it's, our slogan is, it's more than just a meal. No,
Yeah.
you're getting a meal, you're getting a person, you're getting,
Right.
a friend.
And that
Yes,
may
you
be
are.
the only interaction that person has that day.
Yes.
So-
And they
Very
look forward
true.
to
Yeah.
that.
Very
They say,
true.
we look forward to your meals and your good food. No, you look forward to the
Yeah.
person who's delivering them more than
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And we know that. So, and, we need to continue to encourage the word. If you know someone who's homebound, there are still meals available. So we don't have a waiting list. If you're homebound and you could show that to us, and you're over the age of 60 and you need support, we can get a meal to you.
That's awesome.
Now, do you also still do Antelope Valley?
Yes, we also do
Yes,
Antelope Valley too.
that's
So
what I
people who need
thought.
meals in Antelope Valley as well. So yes.
Wow.
So we're all over both valleys.
That's amazing. Okay, so great cause I know Celebrity Waiter is one of the big events, but is there anything else going on?
A few other things going
Okay.
on. I think one of the nicer things we do is something called the Health and Wellness Lecture.
Hmm.
And Diana Savanian, she runs it for us. And it's every Wednesday at 1:00. And the classes get full, but you can also Zoom in. So if
Got
you're
it.
still into the Zoom world, and Diana set up a few things going on. Reducing the risks of Alzheimer's is coming up. And they bring in some doctors and nurses that really share some things. Understanding Medicare, Medi-Cal, and how they work together. Foot disorders and senior feet is another one from a podiatrist. So lots of different, every Wednesday, 1:00 for a full hour, we give you the best in the business to share some information. And it's called our Health and Wellness Lecture Series. You can get online to our website and click on it and Zoom in if you don't want to come over to the senior center. If you
Wow.
want to come in, we'll get you in, but it's open and it's free for people to get information on so many different topics. I mean, every
Yeah.
week it's something new.
So they can listen to the senior hour on the way to
Yes. Yes.
well-
and
yeah,
at 1
health and
o'clock, Health and
wellness.
Wellness
Yeah,
starts.
yeah.
So you got it.
right on.
So,
So what
Okay.
else? What else goes on over there?
Well, you know more than I do, Barbara. Some things people don't know about, and it's still growing, is our Alzheimer's Day program. It's a recreation social program for folks with mild Alzheimer's, and we have a nice team that works with them every day. They have a long waiting list, but we're trying to expand that program. But they come to the senior center, and someone's dropped off at 10:00. And we have them for 4 hours. We serve them our same lunch that everyone else gets, and we have activities and different interactions for a group of about 12 right now, 12 to 15.
And you have fantastic dance groups over there.
Oh my goodness, yes. We have the line
Oh,
dancing.
my
You name the
goodness.
dancing, we're trying to do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know because I go to a group on Tuesday mornings, and so many of the women who come into that group, they're worn out. They're like this because they've been into a dance group.
And you're not
You know.
dancing, Barbara?
What?
You're not dancing?
Well, I have to use these.
Okay.
And it's a little bit hard to do.
Well, then
But I
I'm
got out on the dance floor
all right.
when I don't remember where I was, but a couple of nights ago, and I was out there using these things.
Well, and that's
Which
it's a
kinda
good
crazy.
point. Some of those people are less mobile right now for you, but there's also, we have like chair Pilates. We have a lot of activities, sit and be fit, where they have a use of a chair because we're hitting all
That's
levels
true,
of
and
folks.
you can also do that on Zoom
Yes.
too.
Mm-hmm.
And
But a
do
lot
it
of
at
our
home.
classes are adapted to have chairs in them, and that's what we do for people who are less mobile, and that's
Yeah.
fine with us. We just keep rocking and rolling with it.
Well, I've graduated from the push cart, the walker,
Okay.
over to my 2 sticks. I
Okay.
won't use 1 stick because that's too unsteady, but with 2 sticks is perfect.
Okay.
And my daughter keeps telling me, "Mom, slow down, slow down."
Whatever works for you.
Whatever works.
Good for you. So,
Okay, so the celebrity waiter is at the end of April.
mhm.
What's between now and then going on for the senior center?
We're going to honor our Vietnam veterans,
Mm.
and it's coming up March 29th. As most people don't know, it's Vietnam Veterans Day. It's also Good
Wow.
Friday this year, falls on a Friday.
Yeah.
So we've invited Jerry and RJ and the team of Vietnam vets are coming over to the senior center. We're providing them a special lunch that day and honoring them, taking a moment in time. So they'll come during our lunch hour. We usually reserve a special section just for our Vietnam vets. I know they have a singer coming in. They're working on a real nice program. So our goal for senior centers, of course, is always to honor our veterans. And with Vietnam Veterans Day, which is fairly new in our eyes, they brought it to us last year, and we said, yes, you should have the lunch at the senior center.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
many of our folks who just come every day are Vietnam veterans, and we're going to continue to honor them and spoil them. And the chef will work on some stuff for them. So that's March 29th during our regular lunch hour with a special program dedicated to them. And I remember last year just walking around and asking about their service, and you just get chills because these are
Yeah.
men and women that really gave to our country during a
Yeah.
tough time.
What about the Korean War? Do you do anything for that?
There's not a Korean, we do Veterans Day, of course. We do different things for
Veterans
Veterans Day, but the Vietnam veterans were able to get a day in their honor, and we were double down on honoring them during
Yeah.
that day on
Yeah.
March 29th.
Yeah, that was a tough one for
Mhm.
everyone, and it's great that you're picking them to say thank you for your service because they sure didn't get it when they got home.
Right. So we'll honor them. Actually, the day before is that's the name of it, Blind American Veterans Day.
Mhm.
So those veterans with visual impairments come in, and we give them several booths to make sure everyone knows who has a visual impairment the resources that are available to veterans and from all wars. And that happens the day before. So it's really next week, oddly enough, in the end of March, happens to be several days dedicated to veterans, and we're honored to be there for them and with them during this time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of March, and then you got the end of April. What goes on in between?
All of our classes. You want
Okay.
to sign up? There's 30 different classes to choose from, and that's what we want to offer people. If you need, we also have our handiworker program, which is exploding right now, and we provide
Sure.
a handiworker program through a grant from the city of Santa Clarita for those who are low income, if we can. So they're backed up, but they're also out there every day. Our team of handiworkers, they take their trucks and they go to somebody's home and fix a porch or fix a stairwell or fix a bathroom, whatever they can capable of doing as our team.
Now that's really above and beyond.
It is.
If
It
you've
really is.
had to hire anybody to do anything within the past 4 or 5 years, you know what a burden that can be.
Yeah.
Very, very
Nikki
expensive.
Cervantes leads our team with that. Francis has been with me 25, 30, almost 25, 26 years,
Hmm.
just doing that great labor for low income and our seniors. So
Wow,
we're thrilled. We got the support from the city through a block grant to make all that happen.
that's great.
So
Great.
when people think of us as meals, it's like,
Yeah.
whoa, no, we have all the support services. We have your
Right.
health and wellness lecture.
Sure.
We have your 30 different classes. We have the Alzheimer's Day program. And then you also have your handiworkers out there in the
Right.
field.
Yeah. That's awesome. And Barb, what about the support group? What can you say about that?
Well, I go to the grief group, which is
Mhm.
on Tuesday mornings. And there are sometimes 17 people, women and men, who
Mhm.
come in. And it's the woman who runs it. We go from one person to the other. How was your week? What happened? You know, and how's the grieving process going? And that kind of thing. And it's so interesting. And I've gotten so involved in it. I just love to go
Yeah.
because it's so interesting hearing about all of these different ladies and what's happened to them during the week. And you never know. One of them lost her dog, and the dog ran away. And trying to find the dog, she finally found the dog. But
No.
that was the major part of her week.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody else has kids coming to visit, or relatives from overseas coming to visit. And it's so interesting listening to everybody all around the table. And I think there's a couple of other of those groups starting up,
Mm-hmm.
because one doesn't handle everybody.
No,
And
no,
you're
but
in
I
a
think,
limited number too.
but it's wonderful that you have somebody to talk to, even share those experiences. Because sometimes you're not going to get that around a lunch table with a busy
No,
place
that's very
or a
true.
Yeah.
restaurant. You need to
That's
be
very true.
together in a room to share that. And a lost dog is a big deal.
Oh,
Yeah.
it really is. It really is.
And it's nice to have a place, a nice place to go to and meet with people in a structured format,
Hmm.
because otherwise it's very easy for the conversations to turn to everything that's wrong, right? Everything that's going on right now. Um, uh, but these groups aren't about that. These aren't just a, a, a a place where people just complain about stuff. It's the opposite. And unfortunately,
Hmm.
so much in social media is like that now. It's just hate, hate this, hate that, hate everything. And it's so great that there's a place where people who really have stuff to complain about can go and focus on what's good instead, and meet up and try to turn things around.
That's right. And there was one lady there who is setting up not an altar type thing, but a place where she's honoring her husband.
Hmm.
And the different, and that's it. And I was able to share the same thing. I'm sitting in Russ's chair that he always used to sit in, and I have the mantle full of everything involving Russ, pictures and all kinds of things. And and I know what she's going through, because it's a joyous thing to do, even though it's a very sad thing to do.
Yeah,
There's both sides of it.
of course.
But I know how she feels, and I think I've done the same thing. And I sit in the chair he used to sit in, and
Yeah.
I can look up at that mantelpiece, and everything is there.
Yeah.
Everything is there.
And you were told that that's okay. And I think that's the
Yeah.
reinforcement we all need with our lives.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Yes.
sadder the loss, the more there is
Happy
to remember.
sorrow.
Yeah, the more there
Happy
is to
sorrow.
remember about why you're sad. Why are you sad for that loss? Because it was so amazing, and you focus on the amazing and not
That's
the
right.
loss. Yeah.
Well, those were the two words that were brought up yesterday: happy sorrow, which really means a great deal.
Sure.
You've got both sides.
Wow.
And that was discussed. And that's a great group. It really is. And I'm so glad they're adding more groups like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Kevin, give us a quick wrap on the events and the contact. And
We want you to come to our health and wellness lecture series at every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. So call the Senior Center, check out our website, all the registration's on there. We're looking forward to honoring our veterans this month too. So thank them for all their service. And we're looking forward to Celebrity Waiter on April 27th at the Senior Center at Bella Vita. Call us for tickets.
very good. And Barb, where do they call?
661-259-9444.
Awesome.
I
Thank
will
you so
never,
much.
ever forget that phone number.
Kevin, thank you so much for
Thank
all
you
you're
both.
doing at the Senior Center. You're
Yes.
listening to the Senior Hour, KHTS, FM 98.1, AM 1220, homestownstation.com.
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Thomas Polucki, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS. And our guest now is one of the co-owners of KHTS, Carl
guys.
Goldman.
So good to be here.
Yes,
Carl,
my goodness.
I don't know that we've ever had you on the show, have we?
Yes.
A few times.
Maybe,
Yes.
yeah.
A
Okay.
couple call-ins as
Okay. So why are you here today?
Well, it's that time of year already. We're getting near our countdown for the 13th annual KHTS Home and Garden Show.
Oh, great event.
14th.
No, 13th.
13th.
It started 15 years ago, and we were on hiatus for 2 years,
Yeah.
due to COVID.
Yeah.
So it's
That is amazing.
yeah. So it started 15 years ago. Hard to believe. And it's going to take place the last weekend in April over at Central Park. Barbara, it's your favorite price, free.
Can't beat that price.
Parking is free.
Nope,
and
absolutely
admission
cannot.
is free. But it's become quite an event with 450 vendors now. Last year we had over 22,000 residents attending. So we feel it's the biggest annual event in Santa Clarita. And what's so cool about it is there's something for everybody. So there's
That's
plenty of
right.
stuff for seniors that we're going to talk about in a minute, but also lots of things for little kids and for families. And then anyone, of course, the main focus is anything to do with remodeling your house or fixing your house up or learning about solar, learning ways to save money in energy. That's all there.
Yeah.
And food
And
trucks.
talking about
food trucks.
gardens too.
Yeah, plenty of stuff for the
Oh,
gardens.
Plants.
Lots of
beautiful,
landscaping.
beautiful plants.
Yeah, and it's nice because it's easy access. It's all level, flat ground, mostly on the grass. Yes,
Right.
so it's very forgiving and accessible.
Right. At Central Park, plenty of parking and
Mhm.
free parking again. As I said earlier, we have an emergency expo every year taking place on Saturday. For the car lovers, there's the Corvette Club that shows up on Sunday.
Yes.
And with some beautiful, beautiful vehicles. And then food trucks are there. We have for the kids, the Gilchrist Farm has set up a whole kid zone.
The petting zoo.
They've
Yeah.
got the petting zoo. We brought back the pig races last year. There's pony rides. And what we started two years ago that has been a hit, and Gilchrist Farms decided to do it themselves, is a butterfly booth.
Right.
And so you walk into a tent and you get handed a feeding stick, and then giant just butterflies come flying down
Oh,
and
they are
eat out
just
of your hand.
absolutely beautiful. All kinds of butterflies. They
Yeah.
are just gorgeous. They really are.
And then what has grown over the years is the fact that we have what we call the KHTS marketplace, and that's arts and crafts from local crafters. And there's 150 local crafters there. So Barbara and Tom, you can bring your checkbooks and your credit card and take care of Mother's Day, Father's Day.
There you
and
go.
do
Right.
early
They're
Christmas
coming up.
All
shopping.
kinds
yeah.
of birthdays. Oh, it's amazing. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and if I think I remember, was there live music?
We had it live music a couple of years, and the vendors didn't like that.
Oh,
Because they were trying to talk and share their information, and
got it.
it was competing with that. So
It
we stopped
was.
the live. Yeah, we stopped the
was.
live music. The beauty is we limit it to about 4 or 5 in each category,
Mhm.
and they're all local. They've been around for a while, so you're dealing with really, really good people there and getting your information. And it's a great place to go and shop around, whether it's artificial grass or landscaping or flooring or your garage doors. It's really cabinets, remodeling your bathroom. You could go and talk to 4 or 5 different vendors and get a lot of great information.
Yeah, it's so much nicer to actually go there and meet, in many cases, the owner of the business,
That's
or
right.
at least, real people that deal with this every day, instead of trying to figure this all out online, which is just one step removed from reality as far as I'm concerned. You're really talking to the person that might wind up coming and doing the job for you, right?
Exactly. And then we have plenty in the health category as well for seniors to go around. Providence Holy Cross is one of our main sponsors,
Mm,
as is Southern California Edison, and also we have the Santa Clarita Water Agency
yeah.
all participating. But it's a great way to spend a good portion of your day or even both days over the weekend.
Yeah. So, okay. So when you say both days over the weekend, does that, I thought there was some activities on Friday, not any, no.
No,
That's
there's
the
enough
setup.
activity for our
Yeah, that's
staff,
the
and that's
setup. Okay.
setup.
Okay. Because I've worked both sides of this. All right. So the event is open to the public Saturday and Sunday.
Right, Saturday 10 to 5, Sunday 10 to 4.
Awesome. Yeah. And then you can go to the senior center
Exactly.
and do the celebrity waiter.
And on Saturday with the Emergency Expo, the highlight of that every year is something called the Jaws of Life. Do you know what that is?
Yeah. Yeah. Barb knows. Barb knows real well what the jaws of life
You
are.
do?
Yeah,
Did
she
she participate in it?
no,
Yeah,
she
that's right.
she was in a real bad car accident, and they needed the jaws of life to get her out of it.
Wow.
Yes, they
Maybe
sure
you can
did.
share that.
Well, I was crossing Sierra Highway, cross the light. I had the green light and was going to turn left onto Sierra Highway, and all of a sudden, whack! Right into my driver's side door. He was an 80-year-old man who ran the red light. And you talk about a crash, good heavens. And we couldn't get the doors open. My door was completely, it was in here like this in me. And they had to get the jaws of life to get that car door open.
Yeah.
And what we do is we get a car donated, and it's usually at least it's whole, and then the firefighters, our local fire team, they'll have rookies do it because they want
Yeah.
the practice.
Sure.
So the rookies will come, and we get to watch as they totally demolish a car. They open the
Yeah.
they cut open the doors, then they cut off the roof.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
It really is amazing, because when somebody's pinned into a car like that, that means that they just took a pretty good wallop, and time is of the essence to get to them. And depending on where the hit is, you got to be able to get to them no matter what. And that machine is pretty intense. It's
But you reminded me of something I learned from the firefighters one year when they were doing it, and that is that and it's a good reason for us to think twice about electric cars and hybrids
Oh.
right now. Apparently, there is no set place on electric cars or on hybrids on where you can turn off the
Disconnect it.
electricity and disconnect. So if you see a wreck on the freeway and you see a bunch of firefighters standing around, what
Yeah.
they're doing and going on their phones, they're not chit-chatting over there.
Yeah.
They're looking up because the app, they have a special app,
Mhm.
and it will have every model and every year of every electric car and hybrid with diagrams, because they have to go in and disconnect in a different place on, let's say, a Toyota from a 2019 Toyota certain model versus a 2020 Toyota model.
Yeah.
So that's something that the manufacturers need to get together on and move that, because that's, as you mentioned a minute ago, that's precious minutes that
Yeah.
are wasted.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine someone buying an electric car. That makes no sense to me at all.
Well, that's a whole other
Absolutely.
subject.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
really not necessarily the subject of this show, but
No,
yeah, I
no.
think we're all on the same boat there. It's got a long way to go, and I'm hoping that other options become available.
Yeah, so that's just one of many, many, many different demonstrations that we have there, and then of course every one of the 450 vendors has something very unique and interesting in their booth, and more importantly, as you mentioned, they've got the expertise because it's usually the owner of
Yeah.
the company that's there.
Yeah, I've worked the Home and Garden Show. You say it's been there 13 times.
13.
I've been there at least half of that, at
Yeah.
least if not more than half of that. So, and a lot of the times, your neighbor, you establish a relationship with the booth next door, or the whole row, or the whole tent. Now, these booths, just so people know, are almost all of them in a tent, or there's a ring that is not outside, is
Yeah,
outside.
outside as well. So it's a variety of different setups. We have 4 giant circus-like tents,
Yeah.
and those are inside the big top. Uh, those are what we call the VIP area. Then we have regular tents on the outside where the audience is going outside. And then for the marketplace, with most of those vendors, the crafters, they're bringing their own pop-ups and
Yeah.
their own display, and doing whatever display they have there, which is, as I said, there's some unique items with the crafters, and almost every one of them is local. So there's everything from knitting and clothing to beautiful woodwork, and there's some great. Speaking of woodwork, we've got Michael Fraser Designs is coming back again this year. He's been at our show about 8 or 9 times, and he's from up north and makes the most unique outdoor furniture out of wood, custom woodcraft furniture that is really unique, different, and a delight to go see.
Now, are they going to have candle makers there this time?
Yep, there's
Oh,
candle
good.
makers,
Good,
and
good,
knowing
good.
Santa Clarita and looking at the weather, it'll be 180 degrees. I think.
Of course.
But there's usually a cool breeze. Yeah, so definitely my advice to people going is dress in layers, because even in the course of a day, when we used to set up in the morning, we'd need like winter clothes, and
And
by
Barbara would wear her earmuffs.
yeah, and then by mid afternoon, it can get toasty. So
For sure. And as I said, it's a great way to spend part of a day and
Sure.
travel around. And once again, we have a great website too for that. It's scvhomeshow.com,
CV
scvhomeshow.com.
Home Show.
And it's coming up in five more weeks. Yeah,
Wow.
5.5 weeks.
Yeah, it's already here.
Good
Yeah.
heavens.
All right, great. So SCV Home Show, free
Yes.
parking, free event. The last Saturday and Sunday of
April.
April. What am I missing?
It's, as I said, it's something for the entire family, and for this is the senior hour for seniors, all kinds of health things, great ideas for projects in the house and outside in the garden, lots of different, in the craft area, lots of different outdoor accessories to accent your yard.
And it's interesting too because seniors love to work outside in the yard, especially the women.
Absolutely.
You know, they really do, because there's so many homes over where I live that I see the women out there, and they're mostly older people. They're not, 20s and 30s. They're mostly up into their 50s and 60s, and they're out there planting flowers or pulling weeds or doing something like that. But older women love to work outside.
And speaking of that, almost every time I've done it at Central Park, because it's been in a couple of places, but whenever it's been at Central Park, there's a company that supplies like mulch, like
Right, we're giving- yeah.
you bag it, like you come and get it.
We're giving away free mulch, and every year Green Thumb donates tomato plants that we give away as well on Sunday. So you have to come on Sunday for that. But then the vendors themselves have a lot of giveaways as well. But yeah, we've got free mulch there, plenty of mulch there for people.
Awesome, great, and yeah, so free parking, free event, last weekend. Is it the last 2 days? It's the last weekend.
Weekend
Last
in
weekend.
April.
Last
Yeah.
weekend of
27th,
April.
28th of April.
28th.
Home and Garden Show. Awesome.
Yeah. Well,
Thank
we
you
need
guys
to.
so
we
much.
need.
Thank
Well,
you,
but
Carl.
we need to take a break. You're coming back. You're not leaving. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host Dr. Thomas Polucki on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host Dr. Thomas Polucki on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS, and we're finishing up our 30 minutes with Carl Goldman, co-owner of KHTS. And we're talking about the Home and Garden Show, and we're going to concentrate on food this time.
Yeah, and the reason we're concentrating on food is our engineer here said, you've got to talk about food. Because his eyes opened when I mentioned food trucks, and all I said was, we'll have food trucks, without saying what kind of food truck. We've got a wide array of food trucks. About a dozen food trucks will be there and everything. I just signed up the hot dog truck, which
Kids
which
will
be
like
fun.
that. Yeah.
But
Yes,
then
kids
the big
will.
hit there every year is the lobster truck.
I know that.
The lobster roll is big. We've got have a dessert truck. We've got a drink, non-alcoholic drink. There's no alcohol at the event. We have every kind you can think of: Mexican, Chinese, barbecue. It's hamburgers, the hot dogs I already mentioned. So plenty of food with the food trucks.
Yeah, so it's a great way to spend the day with the grandkids.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned, with Gilchrist Farm, that was sponsored by the Santa Clarita Water Agency. There's a whole kid area over there. But then the kids love climbing aboard the fire truck.
Yeah.
They get to
Yes.
sit in a patrol car, talk to the patrol people there. The American Red Cross has their whole setup over there as well. So that's all on Saturday for the Emergency Expo. And so that's a great opportunity for the kids. But on Sunday, having the kids watch the cars at the Corvette Club, and of course, grabbing their share of food over at the food trucks, and Gilchrist will still be there with the kids area. There's lots of activities for them as well.
Yeah, great. So it is the last Saturday and Sunday of
April
April. So not
over at Central Park. Parking is free. Entrance is free of charge, and it's just a great community activity. One of the things that we were mentioning earlier, that how the vendors, almost all of them are local, and it's usually the knowledgeable person that's sitting there at the booth, whether it's the owner or the manager. And so as you walk around the event and talk to them, you're getting expertise from all of it. And on the other side, the crafters, it's so cool to talk to the person who actually made the product over there.
And some of them are sitting there making.
Product over there.
Yeah, they're making things there, which
So
is
I'll
nice.
I'll ask them to custom make some more stuff for you, Barbara. Earmuffs.
and the scarf
And a scarf.
and the
Oh,
mittens.
yes, yes.
You need it all.
Oh, yes.
Since
Yes.
it's all color coded there.
Oh.
But and another thing for the kids and for the grandkids is the California Rangers are there, and they always bring a horse and have all kinds of activities for the kids as well.
That's
Awesome.
great. That's
Yeah.
great.
And they have free
Absolutely.
mulch throughout the event, and Green Thumb will be handing out more tomato plants, which you would not believe how quickly those tomato plants go.
Oh, yeah. And they produce beautifully. Oh, my goodness.
So an amazing, kid-friendly, senior-friendly, whole community-friendly event, April
7th and 28th.
27th and 28th, the KHTS annual Home and Garden Show at Central Park. Starts what times?
10 a.m. on Saturday, going all the way to 5, and then on Sunday, 10 to 4.
Okay. That seems, I think we got it.
And we got it all.
I
Thank
think
you.
we
Go
got
to
it.
scvhomeshow.com for more information.
scvhomeshow.com.
Thank you
yes.
so much, Carl Goldman, and thank you
Yes.
for all the work you put into making this show happen. You've been listening to the Senior Hour, KHTS FM 98.1 AM 1220, hometownstation.com, brought to you by Comfort Keepers, In-Home Care, and Providence Holy Cross. Now go out and enhance your quality of life.